Good afternoon, everyone. Will DuPree here at the KXAN Live Studio. We want to share some breaking news with you all here on our streaming platforms if you're just joining us. Masks are now required here in the state of Texas. The governor just issued this executive order a little bit earlier this afternoon, making that order official for the state of Texas. So what is happening there? If you see at the bottom of your screen, the governor is ordering a statewide mask mandate, and this applies to people who live in counties with more than 20 cases of COVID-19. That applies to almost every county in Central Texas at this point, though that could very well change here relatively soon. So if you want to take a look, these are the cases in our particular viewing area in KXAN where there are active cases. The only counties where this would not apply are Mason, San Saba, Lampasas, Llano, and Milam counties. All the other ones right there, they have more than 20 active cases of COVID-19. So a face covering is now required there, both in public and inside buildings. If you're just joining us, I'm Will DuPree. We're talking about this new executive order issued out this afternoon by Governor Greg Abbott to mandate mask wearing here in the state because of the alarming spread of COVID-19 and hospitalizations related to it. I want to tell you all that the governor's order also states that there are restrictions on public gatherings. So in the press release that the governor sent out with his office here just a few moments ago, the governor's proclamation gives mayors and county judges the ability to impose restrictions on some outdoor gatherings of more than 10 people, and making it mandatory that with certain exceptions, people cannot be in groups larger than 10 and must maintain 6 feet of social distancing from others. So there are crowd size restrictions as well as a mandate now to wear a face mask whenever you're in public here in the state of Texas. I want to show you all quickly, though, that the particular order the governor issued does also come with consequences for people found violating this face mask requirement now. So let me take a look at right here. I've blown this up. So in this section right here in the governor's order, which is about 5 pages, it says right here, following a verbal or written warning for a first-time violator of this face covering requirement, a person's second violation shall be punishable by a fine not to exceed $250. Each subsequent violation shall be punishable by a fine not to exceed $250 per violation. So, if you're caught out and about without a mask on in one of these counties that have more than 20 active cases of COVID-19, you'll be giving a warning that's either verbal or written that first time, and then if it's done the second time, you could have a fine up to $250, and then every time after that, you could be fined $250. So please keep that in mind. We want to point that out. The order right there, it goes on to say that jail time or confinement is prohibited for anybody that is caught not wearing a face mask. So jail time, not a punishment. However, fines could be levied against you if you're caught without wearing a face mask. We also have some statements coming in from different entities throughout the state talking about their reactions to this. I want to pull up one really quickly from the Texas Medical Association. They are applauding the governor's decision here. I'm going to pull this up really quickly. And in their statement it says, this again is from the Texas Medical Association, and the president of that organization sent out this. So the physicians of Texas are very pleased that Governor Abbott is following the science. There is no question about it. Face masks reduce the spread of COVID-19. They help protect the people wearing masks, and they help protect the people around them. The statement goes on from there. We will put that in full over on our website, KXAN.com, and if you have the KXAN News app, you can also pull up this story. We have one going on and updating it throughout the day right now, so please tune in over there. If you're just joining us, we are talking about a new face mask requirement for the entire state of Texas if the county that you live in has more than 20 active COVID-19 cases. I'm pulling up one more thing to be able to try to show this off for you all. The governor issued this earlier this afternoon. This came after many different state officials had asked him to be able to put this in effect statewide. However, many communities and counties took the steps to say, like inside businesses, you have to wear a mask. Now this particular order states that if someone is inside a business or in a public space, you have to have a face covering that goes over your nose and your mouth. There are some exceptions to this rule, and I want to state that as well. So bear with me one second while I pull up the order one more time. So there are some exceptions that people do not have to wear a face mask or a face covering to do, and I'm going to pull that up really quickly. One more time, this is from the executive order that the governor issued this afternoon. So it says that face masks are required. However, face mask requirement does not apply to the following, and this is the list right here. Any person younger than 10, any person with a medical condition or disability that prevents wearing a face covering, any person while that person is consuming food or drink or is seated at a restaurant to eat or drink, any person while the person is exercising outdoors or engaging in physical activity outdoors, and maintaining a safe distance from other people not in the same household. When a person is driving alone or with passengers who are part of the same household as the driver. Any person obtaining a service that requires temporary removal of the face covering for security, surveillance, screening, or a need for specific access to the face, such as while visiting a bank or while obtaining a personal care service involving the face, but only to the extent necessary for the temporary removal. Also, any person who is swimming in a pool or a lake or a similar body of water. Any person who is voting, assisting a voter, serving as a poll watcher, or actively administering an election. However, wearing a face covering is strongly encouraged in those instances. Also, a face mask is not required when a person is actively providing or obtaining access to religious worship, but wearing a face covering is strongly encouraged there too. Also, any person who is giving a speech for a broadcast or to an audience, like in this very moment. I'm also in a separate office away from our newsroom, so I don't have my mask on, but when I leave this room, I put it right back on. Those are the exceptions for the rule, and we do, if you want to take a look at this particular executive order, so there's the top of it right there, Executive Order GA-29. This was signed earlier today. Also, we want to say that this rule does not go into effect right now. However, it goes into effect tomorrow at noon. Keep that in mind. Tomorrow at noon, this requirement goes into effect. We have a full write-up about this. You can view the language from this particular executive order over on our website, KXAN.com, and the KXAN News app, so we will direct you there if you'd like to check it out even further. Just to reiterate, if you're joining us, I'm Will DuPree here in the KXAN Live studio. We are reporting right now that Governor Greg Abbott has mandated face mask and face covering for anyone living in a county with more than 20 active COVID-19 cases. That applies to almost every county in our viewing area here in Central Texas. If you take a look, this is where the numbers stand at this point. They could be updated today, but here they are right now in Central Texas. We're going to leave this up just for a minute so you all can see where everything stands here in our area. If you're just joining us, this is Will DuPree's voice here in the KXAN live studio. You're looking again at a map showing the number of active COVID-19 cases here in our viewing area. This new face mask mandate applies to people living in counties with more than 20 active COVID-19 cases. So, according to the numbers right now, this would not apply to people who live in Mason, San Saba, Llano, Lampasas, and Milam counties. Everywhere else right here has more than 20 active cases of COVID-19. So you have to put on that face mask now whenever you go into a business or go into a public or go into some sort of public space out there. This is that new rule that was signed earlier today by Governor Greg Abbott. The governor's order also says that people cannot gather in groups larger than 10 and must maintain 6 feet of social distancing. He also allows mayors and county judges the ability to impose restrictions on outdoor gatherings of more than 10 people. We are awaiting any kind of word from the city of Austin and some of the other communities here in our area to see if they plan to take that extra step, because the governor has opened the door for that. So we'll have to wait and report on that. And there may have been something that has already come in, and as we're talking, I haven't checked on that. So we will see. I'm looking at my emails really quickly. So I'm just going to look over to the site for just a moment. Doesn't appear anything new at this time, but we'll correct that online if there is something to share. Now, the governor issued a statement. He sent out a 7-minute long video as well. We have a link to that over on our website. But I want to read this statement that the governor said earlier today when he issued this order. He said, quote, "Wearing a face covering in public is proven to be one of the most effective ways we have to slow the spread of COVID-19. He went on to say, "We have the ability to keep businesses open and move our economy forward so that Texans can continue to earn a paycheck, but it requires each of us to do our part to protect one another. And that means wearing a face covering in public spaces. Likewise, large gatherings are a clear contributor to the rise in COVID-19 cases. Restricting the size of groups gathering will strengthen Texas's ability to corral this virus and keep Texans safe. We all have a responsibility to slow the spread of COVID-19 and keep our communities safe. If Texans commit to wearing face coverings in public spaces and follow the best health and safety practices, we can both slow the spread of COVID-19 and keep Texas open for business. I urge all Texans to wear a face covering in public, not just for their own health, but for the health of their families, friends, and for all our fellow Texans." Again, that's a statement that the governor issued earlier this afternoon when he sent out this new executive order today, mandating face coverings for people who live in counties with more than 20 active cases of COVID-19. So as we're kind of parsing through this, we do have lots of reporters on top of this at the moment. We have some stories that will be turned in our evening newscast coming up at 5, 6, and 9 and 10 as well. They've been assigned to look into that too, to gather reaction and also enforcement. So we want to tell you all as well that this particular order does carry with it consequences for people caught out not wearing a face mask in public over their nose and mouth. So the first time you are caught in one of these areas and not wearing a face mask, you can receive a verbal or written warning from law enforcement. Secondly, if you get another violation, you could have a fine up to $250, and every subsequent violation might carry a fine up to $250 as well. So there is that kind of punitive measure there put into place. Jail time, however, is prohibited. The governor's order specifically states right here that no one can be confined or jailed for a face mask violation. I want to thank you all again for watching here. We've been trying to share the latest information as soon as it's come in, so we've got to gather some information and then put that out there for you all to be able to digest this. And please know that this face mask requirement, this mandate for all people living in counties with more than 20 cases of COVID-19 goes into effect tomorrow. So Friday at 12:01 p.m. That is what the executive order states. This order goes into effect. So whenever you go outside, you have to have that mask on over your nose and mouth. It's now required by the governor according to this order issued this afternoon. All right, so we've gone over a lot. I realize that, and we wanted to be able to share this information as quickly as possible and put it out there. Please share this video with people. We also have an article on our website. You can share that as well on your social media pages, just so that everyone is aware of what the situation is now. So the governor has now ordered that masks be worn in public spaces and inside buildings if you live in a county with more than 20 active cases of COVID-19. Obviously, that applies to Austin and Travis County because we have the most concentration of cases in our particular area. I want to show you that map one more time again. Take a look. So every county that has more than 20 active cases, this order applies to. So the ones that it doesn't at this time, and some are very close to that threshold, the ones that it does not apply to at this time include Mason, San Saba, Llano, Lampasas, and Milam counties. If you would like to learn more, I'm going to direct you right again to our website, KXAN.com, and the KXAN News app. Please download that on your phone. I have my mask right here that is ready to go whenever I leave this room that I'm talking to you all from at the moment. So we'll go right on and we'll put it on there and go on with my day. So again, thank you all for watching. I'm Will DuPree here in the KXAN Live studio. We will have additional updates throughout the day for this particular information, so please stay with us, and we thank you all for trusting us. Please, everyone, stay safe, stay healthy, and if at all possible, still at home. Thanks again.